Hello to everyone in TV land. This is Focus on Liberia online television, and you are listening to the Focus on Liberia Daily News with Gwendolyn Dorado. I bring you the headlines. U.S. Ambassador to Liberia calls on graduates of the University of Liberia to lead successful careers in Liberia rather than in America, Europe, or some African countries. Senator Augustine G alarms over the proliferation of substandard public and private schools, colleges, and universities operating in Liberia. Grand Bassa County District Number 5 representative criticizes Boakai Cone administration for its failure to effectively address the growing drug crisis in Liberia. And away from home, two leaders of Tanzania's main opposition, Chadman Party, are among 40 members who have been arrested as police attempted to block a banned demonstration in the main city. Those were the headlines, and I'll bring you the news in details. The United States Ambassador to Liberia, Mark C. Turner, says his greatest hope is for graduates of the University of Liberia to lead successful careers in Liberia rather than in America, Europe, or some African countries. The top U.S. diplomat accredited near Monrovia served as the commencement speaker on Friday, September 20, during the graduation exercises for students from the UL graduate and professional schools in Fendel, Louisiana. He spoke on the theme, The Role of the University in Promoting Peace and Sustainable Development in a Turbulent World. Ambassador Turner argued that Liberia can only compete for foreign direct investment if it has a workforce with the skills, training, and education to succeed at that level. A two-day special consultation with persons with disabilities on the government's arrest agenda for inclusive development has ended in Bangabong County. The consultation was conducted by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. The outcomes of the engagements, the ministry said, will culminate in the creation of a comprehensive report summarizing key findings and recommendations. The report will outline targeted projects to be incorporated into the AAID, CDAs, and PSIP, thereby embedding PWD's needs into Liberia's broader development agenda. Speaking at the start of the consultations, the resident coordinator of the United Nations in Liberia, Christine Omotonin, lauded the government of Liberia for the consultation, describing persons with disabilities as strong voices in the development of any nation. The UN resident coordinator, while recognizing the roles of all Liberians in developing the country's agenda, appreciated the leadership of the country for ensuring that Liberians are widely consulted on the next course of the development process. She said these processes will result to Liberians owing their development initiatives and not see it as an imposition. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Claims and Petition, Senator Augustine Chi, has alarmed over the proliferation of substandard public and private schools, colleges, and universities operating in Liberia, with a call on government to shut down poorly performing institutions that have been established across the country for political reasons. Senator Chi observed that though Liberia has made incremental progress in some areas of governance and development, the country's educational sector has not recovered from the ravages of the Civil War. He noted that this sad reality continues to persist with no sufficient investment made in the sector because education is not being prioritized in the country. Senator Chia's assertions were contained in a statement released in Monrovia over the weekend. He observed that in the midst of serious learning and performance deficit of Liberian students, colleges and universities are being established all over the place. He questioned whether or not these colleges and universities are being established to produce more underperformers in public examinations. Grand Bassa County District Number 5 Representative Thomas Goshua has strongly criticized the Boakai Cone administration for its failure to effectively address the growing drug crisis in Liberia. Speaking to journalists over the weekend in Buchanan, Representative Goshua expressed disappointment over the administration's lack of action since President Boakai declared the drug issue a national health emergency. Representative Goshua alleged that an initial allocation of US 1.9 million, which was proposed in the national budget to combat drug-related challenges, was removed by the Ministry of Finance. He described this move as a setback in the government's effort to fight the growing crisis. The president of the African Methodist Episcopal University has called for greater investment in Liberia's private sector as a crucial step toward solving the nation's persistent unemployment crisis. Speaking to reporters minutes after he spoke at the 104th graduation ceremony of the University of Liberia, Reverend Alvin Atta emphasized the vital role to private sector plays in driving economic growth and supporting the development of the country's middle class. He said the government alone cannot absorb the entire workforce to create sustainable job opportunities. More attention needs to be focused on expanding the private sector, which has the potential to stimulate economic activity, he said. Reverend Atta's remarks come at a time when Liberia continues to face significant challenges in providing employment opportunities for its growing population. Away from home, two leaders of Tanzania's main opposition, Chadman Party, are among 14 members who have been arrested as police attempted to block a banned demonstration in the main city, Dar es Salaam. Chadman said on X that Hayes chairman Freeman Mbowe was taken into custody as he was preparing to lead a peaceful protest. Police also went to the home of the party's deputy leader, Tundu Lissu, with a convoy of 11 vehicles and arrested him, according to Chadman. Critics fear that the detentions are a sign that the country could be returning to the more repressive rule of the previous president, John Magufuli. Chapman had planned Monday's demonstrations to protest against alleged recent killings and abductions of opposition officials in the country. Last week, President Samia Suluhu Hassan advised against demonstrations and any related moves, noting that her administration would not tolerate any action that would endanger law and order. Police declared the protest illegal, but the opposition had vowed to defy the ban. That does it for the Focus on Liberia Daily News. I do a recap of the headlines. U.S. Ambassador to Liberia calls on graduates of the University of Liberia to lead successful careers in Liberia rather than in America, Europe, or some African countries. Senator Augustine Chie alarms over the proliferation of substandard public and private schools, colleges, and universities operating in Liberia. Grand Bassa County District Number 5 representative criticizes Boakai Cone administration for its failure to effectively address the growing drug crisis in Liberia. and away from home. Two leaders of Tanzania's main opposition, Chadema Party, are among 40 members who have been arrested as police attempted to block a banned demonstration in the main city. On behalf of the management and staff of Focus on Liberia, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We urge that you keep following us and share our videos. My name is Gwendolyn Dorado. I present it.